All right, I don't know if I should take that as a sign to not talk about Kyle, but my phone just died. It didn't die. It said I don't have any storage, so I had to delete some videos. Yeah, I don't know. That's another reason it's kind of hard to make videos is because, well, I'll just say that I really needed to go no contact with Kyle. Like, I love him, and it's really hard to truly fully get over somebody when you're still talking to them all the time. And so, and we've definitely, like, he moved out last August. It's April now. Our divorce was finalized in October. And we've gone a lot of times throughout these several months with like not talking to each other. That's pretty much been the expectation. I mean, we didn't get divorced because things were going well. Um, I don't blame him for his dysfunction. I don't blame myself for my dysfunction. Um, yeah, we both have issues that seem to be exacerbated when we're together and definitely hurts me. And I'm sure due to the need for distance, it hurts him too. And I don't know. I just, without blaming anybody, it seems to be an impossible problem to solve. Like it seems to be unsolvable. And it just seems like the healthiest thing is to not be around each other anymore. And I'm still sad about that. I'm still extraordinarily sad about that. Um, I don't know. I still go through, it still surprises me how sad I feel about it and how meaningful he was to me. And I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can't trust his sweetness, but man, he can be so sweet. And that's just so sad. That's sad. And I'm not ready to move on yet because I feel like I need to honor how meaningful he was to me. I know I'm not entirely over it. It's still really sad. So I don't know. That's where I'm at right now with that. But yeah, making videos is a little bit tricky because I know he can still see them. So I'm pretty much like, you know, attending, I'm pretty much going on stage and knowing my ex husband is going to be in the audience. And that's pretty weird for me. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna do a tarot reading. Last week's tarot reading took off. Um, a lot more people saw it and got a lot more subscribers than usual. So I rewatched that video just to be like, what did I do well on this? Because clearly YouTube seems to know which videos are good. Um, and so I always told myself if I make a video that hits the algorithm again, I'm going to study it and be like, what did people like? And I think what they liked was my enthusiasm. They certainly liked the background and what I was wearing. I couldn't match that today, that time of the month. I'm in a different room. Um, and then I also had some fears about just not being able to deliver that level of whatever it is that you guys liked, and I just have to let that go too. So I'm just gonna do my best, and I did kind of see the way that I interpreted the cards was different than I normally do, and so I'm gonna lean into that some more. So maybe I can keep delivering value to you guys. and then just let go of anything else that's outside of my control. Sun might come out. Hey. Anyway, it's Easter tomorrow. Bought myself a dress. Well, we got Seven of Pentacles again. We had that last week. And the Eight of Swords. Okay, yeah, got that. These are my clarifying cards. I'm not even. Maybe I'll clarify them with Rider-Waite. Maybe I'll put them down for a second. So do a different fidget. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I got an Easter dress and I got some blue ribbons and bows. This was something weird that was happening. I was on my way to Walmart because I needed to go grocery shopping, and I pictured this frilly, not lace frilly necessarily, but just the vibe of a lot of cushy fabric. I pictured this white dress with green and blue flowers on it. A white dress with covered in green and blue flowers, and I also wanted just bows and ribbons to the nines. I just wanted to feel like cutesy in that way. And I was thinking that on the way to Walmart, and I was like, man, if I see a dress like that, I'm going to buy it. Not in my budget, even at Walmart. Walmart is cheap as heck. But I was like, if I see that dress, I'm going to buy it. Well, I went to Walmart and I saw that dress. It was even behind a different article of clothing, but I went over there. I saw one. It was extra small. It's that brand, that girl that's the Stranger Things actress. I guess she has her own brand of Walmart clothes now. Her name is like Bobby something, I think. Millie Bobby Brown, I think, is who it is. Anyway, I tried it on and it was great. And it's got pockets and everything. So I got it. And then I went to the ribbon aisle and I bought, they were pretty much like picked over on bows. A lot of people apparently hit the craft aisle for Easter, but I got one blue bow. I would have bought at least two for my hair, but there was only one. And then I bought a spool of spool. Amazing that I know that word. I'm not a sewer or any kind of thing, but I bought a spool of ribbon, blue ribbon, and I made a belt out of it. And also, I went to the shoe section, spent a lot of time in there. I got these shoes, which aren't necessarily dressy, but they're fun and they're white, so they will go with it. But I also bought a pair of yellow jellies that were in the kids section. And apparently, I wear a size 3 in kids' yellow jelly shoes. I couldn't pass those up. I love like plastic rubbery shoes too because they never get dirty. You just rinse them off and they're clean. You don't have to throw them in the washer. They're breathable, they're comfy. So I bought them. None of that's in my budget really, but it's Easter. And that's, if there's any time I tend to spend more money than usual, it's the holidays. Plus, that dress popped into my head before I went there, and they had it, so I bought it, and I had to buy accessories. Long story short, I'm wearing that to church tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to church tomorrow. I went to church last weekend, and it went all right. So didn't go perfect. I met the founding pastor, and it was awkward, of course. Gave him my phone number, and then I told him I had this because I was going to give it to somebody else, but I was going to feel her out before I gave her my number. He walked right over and handed it to her, and so I walked over and talked to her after the service was over. And I got the feeling that she was thinking I was old. And in my head, I was like, am I? Anyway, she never called me, and it's been a week. So, but I wouldn't have given her my number anyway because I would have talked to her first and I would have known we didn't jive before I gave her my number. But the pastor walked over and gave her my number, which was also a little awkward for me because that meant he was like, well, I'm never going to call you. So here, let me just show you that I'm giving your number away. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. I'm still going to go back, I think. Yeah. Anyway, can't think of anything else that's going on in my world other than, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I could talk about work, but I don't really want to. So yeah, I guess that's that. I'm still spending outside of my means, and I really need to get serious about that. But I did do my taxes, and I am getting a refund. So that's exciting. It's been a week since I've done my taxes, so maybe another week or so might get the refund finally. And then I have to decide whether I want to put that in savings for when the end of the year happens and I have to pay hazard insurance and real estate taxes. So probably going to do that. I don't know. It's good to have cash on hand. Definitely good to have cash on hand. I like to throw any extra money towards my debt that keeps climbing. But I think so rather than just telling myself I have to live on rice and beans, I think I'm just going to stretch the amount of days between when I go to Walmart and still just go my level of nuts at Walmart, but just try to stretch it out longer and longer. So if I spend $250 every 10 days, then that saves me, that's $750 a month. That's saves me $250 a month than if I was spending that much every 7 days. And I know that seems like kind of maybe a weird strategy, but we're so like stuck in our stuff where we're at, and different things like motivate different people. Maybe living on rice, beans, and salsa is motivating to some people. I have had that in my mind for a while, that that's my strategy, but it usually just like, if it's not the strategy that's sustainable for you, it will have like a ricochet effect and something will happen to like overcompensate for it. So I just have to find my sustainable thing. And this is where I'm at right now. Anyway, all right, let's get on with this week's reading. Let's go ahead and do a reading. Actually, I have to go to the bathroom. Also, I'm not going to commit to a schedule. I'm not committing to a schedule because I just can't stick to it. If there's anything that I have to not commit to, it's this. It's this. So and I like it and I want to keep doing it, but I just have to do it when I feel like doing it. All right, let me connect to the enthusiasm that I have for getting a fun reading for myself and for you. All right, what do we got coming up for us this week? I said I was going to use these. What do we got coming up for us this week? What's going on in addition to the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords? What's going on for us this week? What is it going to be? April 6th? Well, April 5th, I guess, is tomorrow, right? Today's April 4th. So April 4th, I guess, to next Saturday, we'll say. So is that going to be the 11th, I think? Coming up for us this week, what are we going to be feeling like? Should we include any twin flamey type stuff too? I'm still trying to find a balance of like, I want to just say whatever I want to say, like as if y'all are old friends, but I really do have to be mindful of whether my coworkers can see it. I haven't told anyone about my YouTube channel, but I'm popular enough that all you have to do is search for my first name and I'm the first option that comes up. So not hard to find me. And by first name, I mean middle name, but that's what I go by at work. Everywhere, that's what I go by, is my middle name. Jolene, if you didn't know, Jolene. Welcome, if you're new. I have a Patreon, and it has tons of videos on there from for like 4 years. There's hundreds of videos on there. Kyle was one of my patrons. He still is. And I also had Melissa on there for a long time, but I felt like kind of guilty because I wasn't able to add more value other than a bunch of videos that she probably had already watched because she's followed me for a long time. Anyway, she finally canceled her membership, and I honestly felt relieved because I didn't feel like I was adding any value. But I am really grateful that, Melissa, if you're watching this, I don't know if you are, but I'm really grateful that you were a member for so long. It was so sweet. I like kind of wish you like gave me your address or something so I could mail you something and try to balance out the unequal give and take. But then on the other hand, I feel like I have to let you be responsible for what you want to give. I still don't know what I'm going to do with Patreon. I'm kind of thinking of just making those videos available to Kyle in a different way, sending him a playlist and then shutting my Patreon down. But if I ever change my mind, I don't want to have to figure out how to set everything up again. I don't know. Are we going to get any cards for this week? Shall I light some sage first? Let's light some sage. Sorry if you find this boring. This is going to choke me out, no doubt. Clear the energy. Get something fresh. I normally light a candle first so I can put this in the flame and really let it have a chance to catch on fire, but this is probably good enough. A good mental reset. It's probably going to choke me out. Because I'm sensitive. All right. Whew, okay. I'm just gonna do the I don't know, let's just read these. So far we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is feeling like you're working too hard and you're not getting a reward. Like you're tired, you're world weary. You're tired of all the bullshit. You're tired of toiling away. You're proud of yourself on the one hand that you keep showing up, that you even have the opportunity to be earning those Seven Pentacles. I love that she has a bag empty, like, well, it's spilled over there too. Like, I feel like this when I at Walmart. It's like I'm grateful, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I'm spending debt. Like I'm just getting myself further into debt because my Seven Pentacles aren't enough to buy everything I want to buy. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. She's in the woods surrounded by wolves. I don't know. I sometimes feel like this with YouTube. Sometimes it just feels a little inhospitable. I've also vowed to myself to read what I see and not curb the truth to what an audience wants to hear. So I'm doing that. Am I making videos for wolves right now? A wolf isn't necessarily bad, depending on the context. I don't know. Let me do some Rider-Waite. Is there advice for the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords? Can we get some advice for the Seven of Pentacles? The Sun, most positive card in the deck. Okay, can we get some advice for the Eight of Swords? The Fool. The Sun for the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, show up and be seen. The Seven of Pentacles is about work, though, and feeling like you're doing too much. Okay, this is being, just trusting that simply being, the act of being present with whatever arises is enough to handle whatever comes your way, enough to resolve whatever shows up day to day. That's epic. That's also very empowering. Like, even though I love tarot, this is saying you already have everything what you need within you. You are literally the sun within yourself. Your own awareness is self illuminating, and it casts shadows away naturally. All it takes is your awareness, your presence. The sun is healing. And then for the Eight of Swords, it's the Fool, which is, So if the Eight of Swords is me making videos for, I don't know, consumers that would eat me alive, the Fool, and there's a little doggy making friends with the wolves as humans do. Befriending the wolves. The sun too. The sun is on his back. Kind of seems like I'm supposed to step away. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be a tarot reader. I like doing it, but the amount of work required to make it an actual business, I don't know if that's what I want. I'm tired. I'm low. I mean, I don't have to make it a business, though. This card is dirty. And it's the Three of Swords. Lordy. And that's heartbreak, betrayal. I definitely don't feel safe making videos on the internet. I feel exposed. I feel like, I mean, even Dorothy has said, when you show up online, there's always going to be people who are watching to figure out what your weaknesses are. All right. What else have we got? Want something? Let's give me something just for my audience. What are people thinking as they're watching this right now? What are people thinking about me? I always find a way to make it back about me, but that's my earnest question, so I'm going with it rather than judging myself. You might be judging me. Who knows? Queen of Swords in reverse. That maybe I'm misguided, that I am not good at tarot. That's what you're thinking. You have advice for me regarding that? Is it true? I don't want to look at all the cards that just flipped over because it was a lot, but I got the Wheel of Fortune. Something is, the wheel is turning in my favor. Divine timing. Yeah, that's what I asked, is what should I do about what people think about me? Maybe people thinking I'm not good at this, or that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I'm just blatantly wrong. Maybe that's going to change. What else can you tell me about the audience that's watching today? We got Strength, the Leo card, the Emperor, power, basically, and we got the Hermit. So it's about the audience. We got strength, loyal, self-empowered, and introverted. They're in a phase of introversion for healing. No doubt been through a lot of crap, but self-empowered. Is there any advice for the audience? Looking at the timer. Have hope. It's going to get better. This is worrying about things that may or may not come to pass. And this is saying have hope about it. Like, let go of your worries. The fact that you got a 9 and not a 10 of swords means it's not, your worries aren't going to come to pass. What else? Advice for the audience? Balance. Keep hermiting right now and focus on what's best for you. Let go of worrying about whatever is going on in your external world that's keeping you up at night, and keep focusing on what you need. Think about your priorities and which priorities should be in order. If something is really important, think about, should that be your number one priority, or is there something else you're neglecting that should actually take priority over that other thing? That's temperance. Is there a primary message for this week? So our main takeaway for me and the audience this week. This feels like half of these cards are gone. This deck is so thin and small, which I like because it's easy to handle. The Tower. Yeah, anything that's not built on a sturdy foundation is gonna fall. And you've probably already known it. It's probably already been trying to happen. In my case, it's been a year of this trying to happen. And it sucks really badly. It sucks because you can't change it. And there's a lot of things you love about the Tower. The Tower was a palace practically that you were living in, but it was built on sand. And it basically means every good thing that you had looking around you was an illusion. And how great that when you're deluding yourself willingly over and over again, how great that an external force would come in to save you from your delusions. Losing the Tower sucks. It does. Losing all the things that you love sucks. But it's in your best interest because it was a lie. And next time you can build your palace on something real. Build your life on something real. All right, that was the reading for this week. Don't know if I'm going to publish it or not, but this was me trying to make a video again. Hope you're having a good week. Like the video if you liked it. I'm wondering, I don't know if tarot is my Tower moment as well. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Sometimes I do worry about losing what it seems like I need desperately. And I just really trust that everything is going to work out. Like, no matter what happens, no matter what I lose, I trust that something is going to be there to catch me no matter what. Like, it's going to be all right. I don't know. I might not publish this. I really might not publish it. I might just rewatch it myself. Cause yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to take a picture of it either. I just have no enthusiasm for it, so probably not going to do it. All right, but I will close it just on the very off chance that anything will come of it. Like this video if you liked it. I hope you're having a good week. And I will see you when I see you. And you'll see me when you see me, I guess. You'll see me when you see me. Dorothy said I have a vicious pattern of, I don't know, some kind of developmental thing I picked up, which I've talked about before. I have rejection sensitive dysphoria, but she said it's a belief that I am really insufficient. And I know that definitely. But she said to compensate, I put myself above others. And I want to see that, of course. If that's what's causing my suffering, I want to see that. But I really do have a hard time seeing how I put myself above others. Yeah. I guess I can see in the past times when I've been misguided and condescending and thought that I knew things that other people didn't know. But some of that, it was just like a long time ago when you're young and immature and embarrassing to yourself. I don't know. I know she's said I should be humble a lot. Be humble. Be humble. I know Leos specifically, which I have a Leo sun and a Leo moon. I'm a Libra rising. And I don't know. I identify with all of it. I identify with Virgo because I have Venus in Virgo. I identify with Cancer because I have Mars and Mercury in Cancer. I don't really identify with having Neptune and Sag. I guess I can feel the vibration of that. It's not my whole identity, but I can see how it is a part of me. And I have Uranus in Scorpio. I don't really identify. I mean, I do, I guess. I guess I do identify with Scorpio to a degree. And I have Chiron and Taurus. And I have a whole lot of planets aspecting. I have a Yod in the 8th house, a Yod to the 8th house, to Chiron in Taurus. And the planets that are forming the Yod are Pluto in Libra in the 1st, and Neptune and Sagittarius in the 3rd. And speaking of Libra, I have Saturn and Jupiter also in Libra in the 1st. Nobody cares. I know. Nobody cares probably. But now y'all know my whole birth chart. Pretty much. North Node is at 9 degrees of, is that right? No, it's at 1 degree. North Node is at 1 degree of Leo. South Node is at 1 degree of Aquarius. So, you guessed, over the last 5 years, I've been experiencing Pluto conjunct the South Node. And that's why I'm divorced now. Saw it coming. Also couldn't believe it was going to happen. Couldn't believe it. I've basically been with Kyle for 18 years. And that definitely seemed like a tower that was never going to crumble. Even though I spent equal amounts of time wanting it to crumble and being super attached. How can I publish this? This is literally like a diary, and I can't publish this for my coworkers. I don't think. I really don't care, but I should. Probably. I really like my job and I want to keep it. And that means I can't have people can't risk too much judgment. There's a autistic psychiatrist that recently lost his job because, I don't know, I would say he's not being humble enough. He's kind of being arrogant, but he doesn't realize it. And maybe this is a mirror to what Dorothy was telling me about me. Feeling insufficient, but then making myself feel like I'm better than any system that would reject me in order to compensate for a severe feeling of insufficiency. Yeah, he definitely seems like he's spiraling bad, but he's like a telemedicine doctor now, and he's talking about how well, I can't say it because you'll figure out who he is, but he's still practicing psychiatry, and he's a young guy too. He's probably in his 30s. That's young to me. I don't know. He's coaching people now. Like, he's a life coach. I mean, you can tell he's going through a lot. He's feeling rejected by the system, and he's picking up the pieces very publicly, though. He's not, I don't know, he's just really, he's painting himself as the victim because he believes he is, but then he also believes he's, I don't know, some kind of super savior here to help people with his psychiatry skills while blaming the very system that got him to where he is, blaming it for pathologizing people. Pathology is real, though. Some things are pathology, like limerence. Yeah, they're all coping strategies and you shouldn't be shamed for them, but limerence is not healthy. You know, it's an unhealthy coping strategy, and that's why it's pathologized, because it is pathology. And that's just probably one of the safest examples I could give. All right, well, I put all the cards away except for the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. I don't know. This just seems so. I mean, this is that guy that feels like he got rejected by the system, but it's also me. And I had a Akashic Records reading once that told me I was, you know, basically, I was like, I was a witch and I was burned alive for being a witch. And Dorothy confirmed that I was a witch in a past life. And being a witch means that you developed your manifesting abilities under very oppressive circumstances, that you retaliated against a very unfair system, but you also became corrupt in the process. That sucks. I suppose that's the challenge of a lifetime, is unearthing the corruption, not letting it drive. I don't see how I can publish this. I don't have the bandwidth to think about how you're going to receive it. It's very honest for me. I'm not saying it's accurate, but it's an honest representation of my state of mind. All right, I don't know. Bye.